Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Monday. And as always, on Monday, we like to take time to give thanks to everyone who gave super thanks throughout the week. And you also see the topic of the video, which we'll get into a little bit later on. But first, let's go ahead and get started. Shout out to @WizManBallin8498 with the $5 super thanks. And this comes from the biggest regrets of Kobe Bryant's career video. And he says, "Uncommon, I can tell you this much about when Mike left DC after that meeting about failed ownership. He didn't speed off in a Corvette. It was a Mercedes SL 55 AMG with deep dish rims and custom bodywork. Do not ask me how I know, but the car was gorgeous. LOL. As always, love the content, my brother." Shout out to @WizManBallin8498. Thanks so much for the $5 super thanks. And I must admit, I'm very curious how you know that much detail about the car MJ was in. But yeah, thanks so much for the $5 super thanks. Thank you so much for the continued support of the channel. And next up, we have @G_the_Great_One with the $2 super thanks. He says, this comes from my LeBron James and Adam Silver Destroy the Pelicans video. He says, LeBron James has 2 of the lowest rated finals in the modern era. He is not the draw they project him to be. He doesn't play defense consistently. He argues with the refs all the time. Isn't the best player on his own team and is 7 months away from turning 40. Why the hell won't the NBA move on and pivot off of him and begin to promote the younger and more talented players in the league? LeBron hasn't won a respectable championship in 8 years and has either missed the playoffs or been in the play-in tournament the last 4. I actually would say that LeBron James hasn't ever run a respectable championship. But he continues, it doesn't make sense. LeBron has to have some deal worked out behind the scenes. This is unprecedented. If the refs called the games fairly, the Lakers would be a lottery team. If the NBA was to give anyone these special privileges, you would think it would be Steph Curry. At least he's actually likable, relatable, and a draw. Like him or not, but he did elevate the league. Since the Warriors won their last championship, the Warriors have by far the worst free throw differential in the NBA, and Draymond has gone rogue. These things are suspicious indeed. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's just suspicious about the NBA that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The only thing that I can think of was why they keep promoting LeBron is maybe because LeBron is so polarizing. So again, sometimes negative press is still press. Negative attention is still attention. So I'm sure they're still capitalizing off the fact that, people like to talk about LeBron James, whether you are a delusional fanboy or you're someone who understands the truth, But I mean, it doesn't make any sense, especially to me when there's some stars that are much more worth marketing than LeBron James. Like you said, Steph Curry is definitely, I think, more popular, more relatable, and definitely much more of a likable person than LeBron James. But, kind of goes into the whole thing that nothing in this world makes sense anymore, including why they extended the contract of Adam Silver, which we'll get into here in a minute. But shout out to @G_the_Great_One. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks. And next up, this comes from my Paul Pierce doubles down on saying LeBron will be the GOAT if he wins this year. Shout out to @Adidas2019 with the $2 super thanks. And he just simply says, someone is pressuring Paul Pierce to push another LBJ narrative. And yeah, I think this is I think we all know this. I mean, this has started happening since Paul Pierce wound up back on the network again with Skip Bayless. It's like, in order to be in that world, you have to be willing to say some things that you don't believe, to get that check. So yeah, shout out to @Adidas 20019. Thank you so much for the $2 super thanks and your support for the channel. Next up, from the same video, shout out to @OneHawk with the $2 super thanks, and he just simply says, thanks. Obviously, they took Paul, no longer the Truth Pierce, to the back room and beat the truth out of him. He's an official Bron Goblin now. Yeah, and like I said, I feel like Paul Pierce can't believe the things he's saying. There's no way you can convince me that he actually believes what he's saying. I mean, but anyway, shout out to @OneHawk with the $2 super thanks. Thank you for your support. Next up, Thanos Snap Feminism. Love that name. With the $2 super thanks, he says, if Commissioner Voldemort can make a spell that gets the Lakers past Denver and win a championship, that same spell will destroy the NBA. I 100% agree with that, and unfortunately, I think this is where the NBA is headed. Again, as his contract is renewed. But shout out to @Thanos Snap Feminism. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the continued support of the channel. And next, these comes from several different videos. And let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shout out to @QQ810. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that. Or @KK, maybe that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. But I think it's @QQ810 for $25 super thanks in total over 5 different videos. And he simply says thanks on all the videos. He didn't leave a comment. So thank you so much, so much for supporting the videos, for supporting the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this topic right quick. So you all saw the title of the video, that Commissioner Voldemort's contract has been extended with the NBA. So this means this is not good. But let's go ahead and read this article from USA Today. It says, NBA Commissioner Voldemort has reached a deal on a contract extension that will keep him in the role through the end of the decade. A person familiar with the agreement told USA Today Sports. The person spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to speak publicly about the extension. Silver, 61, became the commissioner in 2014, taking over for David Stern. Silver has negotiated 2 collective bargaining agreements as commissioner, including the most recent CBA that ensures labor peace through the 2029-2030 season. Silver has been instrumental in increasing league revenue, which has rewarded owners and players. A decade ago, the salary cap for each team was $63 million, and this season it is $136 million. And Damian Lillard is scheduled to earn $63 million in 2026-27 season. I cannot express how sad of a day this is, how sad this makes me to know that Adam Silver is going to continue to be the commissioner of the NBA. And, it talks about the numbers, and he's more than doubled, I guess, the income. So from a strictly business standpoint, I guess it is understandable, However, again, to me, Adam Silver has not only alienated the core NBA fan base, which, that's kind of been happening over the years anyway, for a lot of reasons. Just the ability of players to switch teams means fans have no reason to be loyal to a specific team anymore. They're loyal to players, which is evident by the Deer and the many annoying fanboys that the Deer has amassed who simply are fans of him and could care less about basketball, obviously. But yeah, Commissioner Baltimore, I feel like it's so much wrong with how he has run the NBA. From pretty much, the players are in complete control. I don't think Commissioner Baltimore has any intentions of trying to get that control back. I think he simply wants, it's kind of like, it makes sense why him and LeBron are buddy, because they both want to be liked over do what's right. They both want to be liked over truly earning their position, and they both, obviously this is very invested in money and not morals or integrity or anything like that. I got a feeling, I just have this feeling that some way Adam Silver has a plan to try to maybe merge the NBA and the WNBA together. I mean, he said things that it wouldn't surprise me that, in the years to come, that's where things kind of start heading toward. Even, he talked about doing away with the All-Star game because he refuses to hold the players accountable and actually make them play. He simply just accepted that, it just looks like the players aren't interested in competing anymore, so I'm just going to accept that and try to do something different. If the players decide they only want to play half the season games, I'm just going to accept that because that's what the players want and they need to be babied and coddled and whatnot. I'm just going to accept it because I have no backbone whatsoever. So yeah, he's mentioned stuff like, I guess doing more male-female competitions in the All-Star game, or I guess including the WNBA and more of the All-Star game, which is ridiculous. It's like, why are there two different leagues in the first place? But yeah, he's talked about doing stuff like that. So it just really kind of got me thinking, like, I feel like this is the direction he's headed towards, trying to combine the NBA and the WNBA. And, I guess we'll see how all this plays out. Again, I feel like the making more money thing was inevitable just because the NBA is more open to the world than it's ever been. But I feel like the new fans that are being brought to the NBA, they're not going to be long-term diehard fans of the NBA. They're going to be these fanboys who we see who are strictly interested in one player and, one player only, and, interested in the player as a celebrity, not really as a basketball player. And I don't know. Like I said, I guess we'll see what happens, but I think this is horrible news for all true fans of the NBA. But anyway, we gonna hold up here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think about Commissioner Baltimore having his contract extended? What do you think this means for the NBA? How long do you think the NBA will be able to survive him and LeBron James? If it says his contract was extended to the end of the decade. So if that's the case, it wouldn't surprise me if LeBron James tries to play to the end of the decade. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, thank you to those who continue to support the channel. You guys are truly, truly appreciated. Just hit 6,000 subscribers. Didn't think I would be here in a year's time. I started this channel roughly about this time last year. Maybe it's been about a year and a few weeks now. But so thank you guys so much for continue to support the channel. Thank everyone who supports all the content creators who are out there telling the truth and having some integrity and not just getting paid to say LeBron James is the GOAT. Let me know what you guys think. You all have a truly, truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.